Okay, so good day everyone. So my name is Daniel Isagon and these are my partners.
Mas Pablo Suchon.
And today we will present to you the entitled Internship Report on the Global Culture and Management Practices of Private Shrimp in Dr. Shrimp Farm at Vilasa, Calcutta. So for the background of the internship, so first is duration and purpose of the internship. So the internship was conducted from June 2 to June 25, 2025. With a daily schedule from 7 to 7 p.m. which is equivalent to 12 hours per day. So the internship focused on the production of whitefish shrimp in semi-concrete pans. And through this internship, so we were able to gain practical exposure and hands-on experience in shrimp culture operations. So for the major activities performed during the internship will be discussed in the activities and certificate slides. So for the description of the area, so where our internship was conducted, so the internship took place at Dr. Shrimp Farm in Vilasa, Calcutta. So the farm occupies approximately 6 hectares of land and is strategically located near the town and coastal area, so making it suitable for shrimp farming operations. So the farm has 12 concrete ponds supplied with brackish water, which is providing favorable conditions for the culture of whitefish shrimp. And for the organizational structure and management, so the farm is headed by President, which is Mr. Oliver E. Demado, who oversees the overall direction and operation of the farm. So, the Vice President is assigned to Finance and Human Resources, who are responsible for financial matters and workforce management. For the Marketing Officer, which is handles promotion and market-related activities, and when the General Manager supervises the daily farm operations and ensure that activities run efficiently. So, the maintenance personnel are responsible for farm equipment and electrical systems to support continuous operation. And lastly, so the plant staff carry out the daily farm activities such as feeding, monitoring, and maintaining the culture plants. So for the species cultures, so the species cultured in the farm, which is the white-leg shrimp or Phoenix panamim. So based on its taxonomical classification, so it belongs to Phylomatropoda, Plasmalocastraca and family Pinidae. So in terms of morphological characteristics, so white-leg shrimp was a slender and elongated body cover with a hard exoskeleton. So it is usually light gray to whitish, slightly transparent with long attenuators for sensing and movement. And regarding its distribution and production in the Philippines, so white-leg shrimp has become one of the most commonly cultured species because of its fast growth, high survival rate, and the ability to deliver fast conditions. So it can also reach marketable size within about 3 to 4 months, making it a rare species for shrimp farming. So we go on activities about the end. So first is lecture on tank preparation. So before the actual tank preparation, so activities, a brief lecture on shrimp farming was conducted. So the discussion was on the important factors to consider in tank preparation to ensure good shrimp growth and survival. So the lecture emphasized the importance of selecting a suitable location for the pond, maintaining proper water conditions such as salinity, choosing an appropriate pond size for its management, and considering market demand for the cultured species. So next is pond draining and drying. So we were assigned to prepare a 5,000 square meter pond, which took approximately 2 days to complete. And after draining, so the pond bottom was allowed to dry for about 3 days under blocks appeared on the soil surface. So this process helps remove unwanted organisms and possible disease carriers present in the pond. And also, drying helps improve pond cleanliness, reduce harmful substances, and create a healthier environment. So next is pond peeling. So The band's soil was tilled using 5 horsepower hand tractor to loosen the compacted soil to prepare it for the next culture cycle. So this process helps improve soil condition by allowing better penetration and releasing harmful gases. It also helps to break down leftover organic matter and remove waste materials that we have recorded. Okay, so next is pan bottom soil scraping. So in this activity, the surface soil of the pan bottom was removed using a shovel to eliminate excess organic materials and accumulated waste. So this process helps improve water quality by reducing unwanted materials and harmful substances that may affect tree growth and survival. It also helps prevent the build-up of toxic compounds and create a healthier environment. So next is pan snail removal. So during this process, pan snails located in the cemented areas of the pan, particularly in feeding areas, so were manually removed using a broom. So because pan snails may carry parasites and can negatively affect shrimp health and culture performance. So removing them helps improve pan cleanliness and creates a safer environment for the culture cycle. So next is pan canal cleaning. So during this process, accumulated algae along the sides of the canal were removed using a brush broom to maintain proper water flow within the culture system. Because excessive algae build up can affect water circulation and water quality, which are essential for shrimp growth and survival. So cleaning the canal helps maintain a cleaner and more stable pond environment and ensuring better water movement for the next cycle. So next is lime application. So the calcium magnesium lime was applied to the pond through broadcasting to ensure even distribution throughout the area. So this process helps improve soil and water quality by balancing soil conditions and reducing harmful microorganisms that may affect shrimp health. So it also provides essential minerals and promotes the growth of natural food sources in the pond. So next is partial water treatment. So brackish water was pumped into the pond and passed through filters before entering the culture area to prevent unwanted organisms from entering the pond. So the process of gradual water filling helps maintain good water quality and reduce harmful substances that may affect shrimp health. And it also supports the growth of plankton, which serve as natural food source in the environment. So next is applying TC powder. TC powder was applied into the pond as natural method to eliminate unwanted and predatory organisms before shrimp stocking. So this process helps remove organisms such as fish, crabs, and other competitors that may consume shrimp prey or compete for food and oxygen in the pond. So it also helps create a safer and cleaner environment for the shrimp. So after 3 days, so the effect of the TC powder decreases, so making the pond safe and ready for stocking. So next is applying fermented mixture as fertilizers. So the fermented mixture was prepared using rice bran, yeast, and molasses, and was allowed to ferment before being applied to the plant. This process helps promote the growth of beneficial bacteria and plankton on the plant. So these microorganisms help improve water quality by reducing harmful substances and also serve as natural food source for shrimp. So next is complete water cooling. So the brackish water was pumped to the pond system and passed through filters before entering the ponds to prevent contamination and unwanted organisms. So the ponds were gradually filled until the reserved water level was reached, creating a suitable environment before shrimp stocking. So next is for Mr. Marco Paolo and Assumption.
So for the stocking, the distribution of host larvae. So during the stocking, the host larvae were delivered from CPF Bataan. Stocking started at 5:30 in the morning. To avoid the host larvae, minimize stress during handling. Each box contains 6 plastic bags with about 2,000 post larvae per bag, giving a total of 12,000 post larvae per box. So for the acclimatization, we sprinkle them for about 30 minutes to give them enough time to adapt to the environment like temperature, salinity, alkalinity, and other water parameters. For the random counting, we randomly select 3 plastic bags to ensure the stocking is accurate to avoid having overcrowding. The stocking of each pod will depend on the availability of the seeds. Sometimes stocking is only 36 larvae per square meter and sometimes 48 post larvae per square meter. So for the stocking, after the random counting, we gently release them to the pond where they will be cultured until they reach marketable size. So for the table 1, this is only for 30 days of culture. On the first day, 2 kilograms of beans will be provided for 100,000 per post larvae. From days 1 to 10, the beans increase by 300 grams per day. From 11 days to 30 days, it will increase by 400 grams. And by 21 to 30 days, it will increase by 500 grams. This gradual increase ensured that the nutritional requirements of the shrimp were met while minimizing feed wastage and maintaining good water quality. So for the feeding management, the feeding schedule and frequency, the cultured shrimp at Dr. Shrimp Farm is fed 4 times a day, 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. This feeding schedule ensures that the shrimp receives a consistent supply of nutrients throughout the day. For the feeding management, application of the onion extract. Onion extract is only applied during very hot weather conditions because it helps reduce cost by high temperature. Heat stress can weaken the shrimp immune system, making them more prone to disease that results slower growth. So, in the feeding monitoring, a gradual amount of feed is placed in the check tray and left for about 1 hour to allow the shrimp to have time to consume. If the feed in the check tray is completely consumed, the feeding rate will increase 500 grams, and when the feeds in the check tray will be reduced if hindi nila naubos. For table 2, in the barn, we use manual test kits because it is more accurate in changes in weather conditions, and it is also less expensive compared to automatics. Based on the table, there are instances where dissolved oxygen levels become too high, although they do not fall below the ideal range. When DO levels are too high, we reduce the numbers of reactors to balance oxygen levels. When the DO levels are too low, we increase numbers of reactors to improve oxygen supply. So for the water quality, it is for Kevin Hurtado.
For water quality monitoring was conducted regularly, especially in the morning, since dissolved oxygen usually lowest during night time. Based on the actual experience, only test kits were used in monitoring water quality monitoring parameters and also salinity monitoring type of dissolved oxygen 7 p.m., 12 a.m., and 4 a.m. For the sampling of stock, start when the shrimp reach about 30 days old. From 30 days onward, sampling was performed once a week to regularly monitoring shrimp growth condition. After shrimp collected using cast net, then count and weight, determine the average body weight and estimate the survival rate. Weekly sampling also helps to determine the shrimp were growing. There were large difference in size. We have two types of shrimp harvest in the Dr. Shrimp Farm. We have partial and complete harvest. And also we have the marketable size, typically 40 heads per kilogram, approximately 25 grams per pieces. In partial harvest, using cast net collected shrimp, once catch, the shrimps are immediately sorted and washed, remove the dirt and impurities. When the order reached 30 kilograms, packed, placed inside the styrofoam cooler for storage and transport for ice layering, inside cooler for the bottom. We have the plastic packs of the 3 packs, plastic in the middle, and 4 packs on the top to maintain low temperature and freshness using packaging tape. The cooler is sealed and secured and ready to transport to buyer or market outlets. For the cost analysis, this is the table of variable cost analysis. It is important to share farming because it helps show where money goes and how its expense affect overall difference costs such as feeds, labor, fuel, and other needs. Farming can better understand how to manage their resources and improve production efficiency based on the data. Present the table 3. Pan 3 recorded a higher overall production cost of the 1,130,298 pesos. Compared the Pan 9 with 879,881 in terms of variable cost, which presented large expense, and with the cost of 536,772 with the cost of the 150 per kilograms, while Pan 9 spent 330,296 pesos with the cost of 101 per kilogram. That fits the major contribution of the shrimp production expense overall. Pan 3 is the incur higher total production of the mainly because it's the higher of the feeds and diesel expense. Meanwhile, Pan 9 is not managed to maintain lower the overall cost despite having a higher fix per kilograms for result of the financial requirement of the culture, performing based on the data gathering or Pan. And for the table 4, for return on investment, the stream production of calculated costs and returns of the investment or ROI. For extreme investment of ROI, both fixed and variable expense reflect the total financial requirements for the culture operation based on the data gathering. Production reached 4,654 kilograms for Pan 5 and 3,268 kilograms for Pan 10. The respective selling price of the 395 peso and 410 peso kilograms resulting in the gross income of 1,838,330 for Pan 5 and 1,339,880 for Pan 10. For other activities undertaken, delivery of mouse to tilapia. The tilapia in mouse were naturally grown. They came from the eggs carried by the water flow, developed in the pond but not given the supplemental feeds, which may grow purely depends on the natural foods available in the water reach. Marketable size prepared from the delivery. The sites are only about 15 minutes away from the farm. Before transport, we thoroughly clean and remove the any dirt, sorted, and then pick up the maintained their good condition. For the water quality monitoring, Dinagyat Aurora, which is approximately 30 minutes of land travel and additional 20 minutes by boat. Water quality testing was conducted along the coastal area, and the parameters measured include pH, salinity, alkalinity, nitrite, and ammonia as among the most critical factor in influencing water quality, and alkalinity provide insight into the water buffering capacity and stability by the assessing the parameters clearly and understanding of the coastal water ability to sustain health growth and survival marine organism. For the strength and weaknesses, the strength of the weaknesses of the farm is production expense, management of farm, highly profitable, productive due to overall health. It's framed the care from management, water quality, and strong history of disease prevention, and market demand and immunity. Locally for Cagayan, Aurora, with Bayo, Pangasinan, Santiago, and other regions. Technology and regional market advantage. One is the main strength of the Dr. Free. It's the only tree farm na operating on Aurora. For the weaknesses, vulnerable natural calamities was a major of the weaknesses of Dr. Free farm. So, calamities particularly typhoon, since Aurora is the coastal province, the frequency visited of strong storm. And also distance for the major commercial markets, aside the typhoons and other weaknesses of the farm is located in the Dilasag, Aurora, which is related from major of the because of this transportation and shrimp harvest through area like Isabela, Turuban, and Pangasinan. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.